Sean Sewell with Engearment.com. In this video, I'm going to go over the similarities and the key differences between the Sony A7 III and the Sony A7 IV. I've been using these every day in the mountains and here in Denver at outdoor retailer and everything in between, so I've got some pretty strong opinions on this. Let's get into it. To start things out with, similarities. Both of these cameras, A7 III, A7 IV, are full frame cameras. They can shoot 4K 30 and take great photos. Both of them have similar size screens, similar brightness, very similar layouts. You can customize the buttons. I have these super tricked out to do some pretty fun stuff, and I'll make a different video on that here in the future. Both will shoot great work either as amateur or as professional, and both are relatively affordable, $2,000 retail, all that you can find on sale and used sometimes, and $2,500 for the A7 IV. All right, A7 III, been around for a few more years. I know a lot of people rely on it as their main workhorse. It's a great camera. 4K 30, awesome. Doesn't shoot 4K 60. A7 IV, however, does shoot 4K 60, albeit with a crop, and that crop is ever so slight. I really thought I was actually concerned about the crop coming from a Panasonic lineup, but coupled with, say, the 20mm 1.8, it hasn't been a deal breaker at all. I'm actually shooting this on the Panasonic GH5 Mark II with the Leica 10-25 at about 14mm, and the 20mm on the Sony is about the same equivalent. My math may be off, but in the real world, that's what I experienced, so it really wasn't a compromise in my opinion. Back to the Sony A7 III. Has a nice screen. You can see it with your sunglasses on or polarized sunglasses outside, which is a really important thing for me because I'm always outside doing product reviews and photo shoots. So if you're outside, you can see a screen. However, if you're in front of the camera, which 99% of the time I am, there's no articulating screen. It does tilt, as you see here, but doesn't rotate out. Huge bummer. It's also not touch compatible. The A7 IV screen, fully touch compatible. You can go through menus and adjust things. Only thing that the touchscreen will work for is autofocus. So, not a huge help there. And if you are going to monitor yourself, which I'm monitoring myself right now with a little monitor to the side of the camera, you have to use a micro HDMI port. Not the end of the world, but I have broken, this week alone, 2 micro HDMI adapters. You know, just I'm running and gunning and I got my dogs and I'm outside. It's not as secure, it's the same quality, just not as secure as a full-size HDMI. Fortunately, A7 IV has you covered and has these nice doors too. There is the full-size HDMI. Wonderful. Both will take microphones in, which is great. You see the Rode wireless Go right there and microphone. Both have USB-C, which not only will do a charge, but I also use that to transfer the files really quickly to a solid-state hard drive. Okay, so 4K 30 on the A7 III and 4K 24 for that matter. 4K 60, I'll be at the crop. So I shoot in 4K 60 like this video. A7 IV is the winner there. And then big limiting factor for me is no flip out screen, not touch compatible. Micro HDMI, boo, 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 and boo. All the things I just said. And then the last limiting factor that I'm not a fan of is recording limit is 29 minutes, 59 seconds. They may not affect how you shoot, but how I shoot, we're running and gunning and interviewing. We're an outdoor retailer working with Mountain Hardware and Helinox and all the companies you see on our YouTube channel. And a lot of the interviews go past half an hour. And I'm working with Pavel and Strongfirst and everybody. Those events go on for hours. So there's no recording limit on the A7 IV. The only limits I've run into, though, is overheating. At about an hour and 20, hour and 30, it seems to turn off. I contacted Sony. I turned off Wi-Fi, turned off Bluetooth, opened the door, everything possible, and it's about an hour 30 is what I get. But so I will be updating this camera probably with the A7 S3 or the Sony FX3 in the near future, and I'll do a video on that as well. But it's hopefully covering the key features and the key differences and the benefits of the A7 IV over the A7 III is helpful. Finally, price point, $2,000 MSRP US for the A7 III, $2,500 for the A7IV. For $500 more, if you're going, you don't have either one yet and you're going in to purchase one, pony up, get the A7IV for all the reasons I mentioned, and hopefully it'll serve you as well as it's serving me. If you do have any further questions, and I hope you do, please put those in the comments below. Hopefully you found this helpful. I've spent months comparing these side by side online. Last month comparing them in person in the mountains, interviews, running and gunning, and so I feel like I've got a pretty good opinion on these cameras. It's a good camera. This is the better camera for sure. Worth the $500 in my opinion, at least in my situation. I'm Sean Sewell with Engearment.com. And until next time, take care.